grandma. Mom!
Yeah. Hey adventurers, welcome back. The Minnie is joining me today for part 2 of lessons that I learned from living in a small town / it's gonna be applied to island life as well. I'm super excited about this because I have learned a lot from this experience and I love to share any kind of growth. So for me, it's almost like a testament to what I've learned from certain chapters of my life. So, and hopefully it will also give you food for thought when you are looking to move or relocate or consider somewhere that you want you and your Minnie to possibly live and explore for a bit. So another lesson that I learned, there is appreciation and gratitude you learn from the little things. When you live in a small town, you learn to look at the flowers that are growing. When you're walking, I feel like you're really taking in nature. You're really living intentionally. And I think that's a great way to live, with intention, where you're living each day with a purpose. And the purpose can just be living. It doesn't have to be some grand thing. When we have come back to Virginia, we're still at our little vacation
Cabin.
cabin.
I'm gonna call it cabin.
Yeah, our little cabin in Virginia. But when we passed through and visited family, me and the Minnie were walking with one of our family members one day, and they have a goal for how much they want to walk. It was probably like we had been back a couple of days from Alaska. And so I thought that when I was in Alaska that I was living really fast paced, right? I thought I was just going, dropping Minnie off at school, me off to work, and just that single mom life, going. I thought I wasn't really taking as much time to enjoy my surroundings as possible.
Wild nature and all that stuff.
Yeah, the wild nature. Just taking it slow and easy.
Yeah, like a leisure morning.
Oh, we love a leisure morning. Oh, we love us a leisure. Our favorite things are leisure mornings and feeling fancy. We love those things. Again, we were walking with this family member and they were like, I need to do this much of walking. And the goal was the goal, and they went to get to the goal. And there was no journey to get there. It was just, I'm living for the goal. And that was what I have been trying to escape, because when you're in that city life and caught in that fast-paced mindset, you're not living. You're just living for the next goal and the next goal, the next goal. You're not appreciating the journey. And it didn't click with me until we started our walk and our family member is going on their walk, and me and the Minnie were stopping at every rock, every worm, every leaf, and we're stopping. She's looking, the Minnie's focused on what's going on the ground. She's like looking at like the worms and the rocks and the grass and all that, and I'm like looking at the blue sky, because first of all, you rarely see a blue sky in Ketchikan. And
Barely.
Right, and then you definitely don't see any kind of cloud definition. All you see is just an overcast gray, one giant gray cloud.
One dry cloud that might be a hurricane.
Rain cloud? We were watching the movie Twister last night, so she's thinking about tornadoes.
That's what I meant.
So to me, to see brightness and blue sky and clouds was just like, oh my gosh. So the Minnie's going, looking down at the earth and what the earth has created. I'm like, looking at the sky and the beautiful sky that's created, and we're taking time and we're appreciating it. Every step we're looking at more interesting.
My grandma is just on her phone, not even enjoying anything. Just walking, enjoying her phone. Just walking, enjoying her phone. Mom!
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I am crying. The Minnie, I wasn't gonna say your grandma, but listen, we're not gonna edit it out. We live our life unfiltered. Like, I wasn't gonna put her grandma on the spot, but yeah, the family member was
grandma.
Was her grandma?
Her grandma.
If you have kids and your kids constantly put you and or people on blast, let us know below. Let us Just share in the comments. Let's all share.
The grandma.
Oh my gosh.
The grandma.
The grandma. And so my mom has this goal of walking a mile. I think she's working up to way to 2 miles. But I noticed a difference in the way we are perceiving our journey, are perceiving our life, and it to me was super impactful.
Our surroundings.
Yeah, to me
and she's just on her phone, just looking at a screen, and tiny screens are not good for your eyes. Just checking below.
But what I noticed is, and it's no, I don't believe in judging how people live. I just know how I want to live, and I try to live my life how I want to live. So, but I do often have reflection on what I'm seeing in life. So there's no, whenever we say a story, there's no judgment intended. It's just, is what it is. And so what I noticed is I developed out of constantly working towards a goal, and I have become a person who appreciates flowers, the petals on those flowers, just enjoying daily life. And I hope, us going through all of this, none of us know how long we have on this earth, how long we're going to have our reasonably to good health. So we should be taking time.
We just have to enjoy it before the worst things happen.
Right. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know our future. So we should be
only
taking
God
time,
knows.
Right, to enjoy ourselves. So it relates back to the appreciation and gratitude for the little things. So I really picked that up living in a small town. Now, does everyone in that small town share my sentiment? No. But that's what I got from living in a small town. There's less there, and because there's less, you appreciate it more. I think that's really what came of that. There's less there, but I appreciate it more. There is a plethora of beauty. There's more beauty, but there is less, and there's actually less there to distract you. I remember it was so crazy to me when I first went on a tour of Ketchikan before we moved there and before I got the job out there. I remember I went to a basketball game with my supervisor, and I remember looking around at all these teenagers. Not one teenager had a phone out. I didn't see anybody on their phone. They were present. They were present in their life. And no, there was no teenager had a cell phone. Everyone that was at the basketball game was present in their life, living their life and enjoying themselves. And I remember that really struck with me when I went home. That was really impactful. That's how I like to say learning to be more present was really impactful for me. I keep saying impactful, but that's how I feel.
That's the word of the day.
That's the word of the day. It's the letter of the day. So that was one, appreciation and gratitude for the little things. That's what I've learned from small town living. Also, you feel the prominence of the have and have-nots living in a small town. None of this affected me directly, but the people that I worked with, they felt it. They, would tell me who were the haves, who were the have-nots, and how the town functioned like that. And I will say it was unfortunate. It's one thing to live in a big city where you don't know the players and you don't know that you are a marginalized person per se, or things are stacked up against you. You kind of feel like, okay, if I just, have enough grit, I'll get past it. But when you're in a small town, it's like if you pooped in your pants when you were 5.
I'm 5, but I don't poop in my pants.
True. If you did that person, people will hold you to that forever, because everyone's growing up together, everyone's done the same thing, and if you are typecast as something from the beginning, it's like you're forced to carry that throughout the rest of your life. And then there are people who have money and people that don't, and I say you feel that more in a small town than you don't. So there was that. And lastly, what I have seen, and I used to be a person that was critical and I would give my opinion when not asked. I was not a very humble person. I like to think that Alaska humbled me a lot. But what I will say, something I've learned from being in a more isolated setting is everyone does not think the same.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's okay.
Well, some do, but some don't.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's how people are made.
Yep, everyone's different. And if we were on a planet where everyone thought the same, oh, how boring that would be, and how much growth would we all have.
And then we We don't have any conversation. Can't even say anything.
What would you talk about? You would all be having the same thought, right?
Yeah.
There'd be no difference of opinion. There'd be no debate. There'd be no growth and education. So I really, coming from a person who used to be critical and just, I don't understand why you're thinking like that, blah, blah, blah. I really saw that Valencia, not everyone thinks the same, and that's okay. Can it be frustrating and a big headache? Okay.
No.
No, it can. It can. Because you're explaining to people, they just don't get it. You're like, hold on. I think I'm explaining it clear, but clearly you're not getting it. What can I do? What can I do?
Am I talking to the wrong person?
Is that what you think? I have learned some patience. I've been trying to work on my patience for a couple years now.
I do.
And this was definitely a good exercise in my patience. But it's okay to have varying disagreements and varying degrees of level of thought. And so as you're thinking about where you live and possibly where you want to go, I wouldn't let yourself, people get caught up, well, I hear this place is racist, or I hear this place is, there's no jobs, or I hear. Don't get caught up in what you hear. And don't get, experience things for yourself. You won't know till you experience it for yourself. And especially being a person of color, I know we are especially on guard now more than ever, but don't go into a place assuming negative. Go in with the thoughts that everyone here is here with positive intent. If you go into anything assuming that, I think you'll come out, even if whatever you're doing turns out in not a great way for you, you'll come out learning lessons. Then if you already went into somewhere on guard and you went in negative and it turned out negative and you left with that, oh, I knew that, and that negative, and that was it. Leave yourself going into a place open.
Like positive pick.
Positive. If something still turned out negative, that's fine. That's just how it was supposed to be. You learn your lesson and you move forward.
You move forward like you're on a trail, like hiking up a mountain. You walk up, you get too tired, you make a camp, sleep there, keep on going, sleep there, keep on going, sleep there, until you get to the top. It's kind of like that.
You persevere. Some things you have to kind of keep on going uphill, but guess what? Eventually you get to the top of that mountain and you see all that work you did.
You'll be proud of yourself.
You'll be proud of yourself. You'll be in awe of the view, and you'll be glad you did it.
And you'll be glad of yourself that you did it.
And that's actually a great way to end our video, because I am proud of myself that I did it. I took me and the Mini across what feels like the world to Alaska through a pandemic, a global pandemic. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We're happy we could see you again, and we look forward to talking to you in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and share us with any other people you think would like to see us through our journey to freedom, life, and living on your terms. And
yay!
I'm going back into full-time entrepreneur life, so I'll be on here talking about how I'm able to be an entrepreneur and travel and do all our other adventures. Oh, also, if you haven't, follow us on the TikTok. We're now on the TikTok.
Down below.
Go down below. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.